Welcome back. The chairman of the St. Lucia Fire Service Association says the core of the issues plaguing the fire service have not been satisfactorily addressed in the letter from Prime Minister Alan Chasney. He says members will not allow the government to gloss over the problem of victimization in the fire service.
Prime Minister Alan Chasney wrote to the head of the St. Lucia Fire Service Association on Wednesday, the 20th of March, asserting that the government expects that striking firefighters will immediately return to work. The letter followed discussions between the association and the Labour Minister Stephenson King to discuss outstanding unresolved matters affecting the officers. Members of the St. Lucia Fire Service Association met and rejected the letter and its stipulations. The chairman has indicated that strike action will continue.
Firefighters basically rejected the contents of that letter, which is signed by the Prime Minister, expressing some of the things which we thought are still contentious in nature, and not really showing that there is a real interest in resolving the issues, but rather for fire officers to return to work and to focus on a violation of law, which is yet to be quoted, despite the numerous times that it has been mentioned in the media and now in correspondence. So, you know, we're just very much disappointed with that sort of stance from the Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister noted in his letter that his administration is not insensitive to the concerns of firefighters, but Chairman Shane Felix says members are not convinced. He elucidated the long-standing issues that are affecting the officers.
The main problem in the department is really that of lack of equal opportunity, the victimization, the intimidation tactics, people being suppressed, and so on.
Prime Minister Alan Chasney made the case that considering the importance of ensuring the reliability and availability of the services provided by the fire service to preserve the health and safety of the nation, the government has agreed to give immediate consideration to measures to be confirmed by a cabinet conclusion. Felix says his members await communication that will outline measures to be put in place to address their concerns in an effective manner and thereby causing them to return to work.
Now, the Civil Service Association, CSA, says it is at its wits' end in trying to understand why the Labour Tribunal, which met on a matter between the CSA and LUSELEC, has not been able to give its decision. The tribunal met in August 2018 and has not been able to give its findings or decision 8 months later. The CSA believes that this is unacceptable and places into question the relevance and effectiveness of such a body in the industrial relations system. The CSA, as the bargaining agent for the Grade 1 employees of LUSELEC, says it is fed up of this obvious high level of inefficiency and procrastination and has been given a mandate by the workers to initiate whatever action it deems necessary and appropriate to cause authorities to respond to this matter without further delay. It is said that you never miss the water until the well runs dry. In this case, you never miss the ice until the Fish Marketing Corporation is closed. Fishermen say the cost of doing business for a trade that already has a little returns is definitely getting too costly. The fishers are calling for attention to their plight.
It was 2 weeks ago that Vieux-Fort MP Dr. Kenny Anthony made a case for Vieux-Fort fishers who he said were being significantly and negatively impacted by the closure of the Fish Marketing Corporation and the resulting unavailability of ice. Now, fishermen in Castries say they too are at their wits' end and will not put their emotions on ice any longer. They spoke to our cameras anonymously for fear of political victimization. They say the matter is not about politics. Rather, they just want ice.
Before we used to have ice, if we come in late, we could get the ice to store the fish for the next day, for the consumers to enjoy and get a better quality of fish. So right now, without ice, it's a little problem with the fishermen, where they have to pay money now to go and get it wherever it is. And where we used to get a bag there for $15, it costs more money right now because we have to pay somebody a van to get it in the fishing complex for us and still pay the shopkeeper I'ma just sell the ice.
Fishers say since the closure of the St. Lucia Fish Marketing Corporation, they continue to operate without access to ice at affordable rates and at convenient locations. The fisher cooperatives, they say, are unclear about how to proceed. Another fisher told our cameras that the restructuring effort is quite frankly above his head. He says he's a simple man trying to do an honest day's work, and he would prefer to not have unnecessary hassle to get ice for his catch.
Well, we like to see it happen that they open there like every afternoon and we buy ice every day for we to go out fishing. It's not a good idea they close there. We need the ice to have a better quality to sell to the people. And no ice, bad quality. And the price of the fish go down right now because the complex not buying no fish. So we are in trouble.
The minister with responsibility for fisheries, Ezekiel Joseph, in an interview 2 weeks ago, noted that the way forward for the Fish Marketing Corporation and its restructuring is being determined with a private local investor.
It's that time again, tax filing season. The deadline is quickly approaching and the Inland Revenue Department is urging members of the public to break the bad habit of filing at the last minute and causing mob-like scenes. The department is explaining the different ways to file and says it is also working on getting people their tax returns.
For many people, filing taxes is a dreaded exercise. But the Inland Revenue Department says the hassle of doing so is actually compounded by taxpayers themselves, who wait for the 11th hour to rush to the department to file. Taxpayer Services Officer Leslie Ann Modest says this really should not be the recurring theme each year, given the many options that are available to file taxes, including online filing.
So we are accustomed over the years to the last minute, but it doesn't really work out well for lots of persons because there is a wait, there is a line, and because we've opted to do it the paper way. So we've always had, yes, you can come in and take the blank blue forms. You must fill out your personal details in the front and on the second page, and our staff will be there to help you in completing it. You also have the option of going to our website. We have a downloadable PDF. You put in the information, it pre-calculates it for you, and you print, you attach. Again, you must come in and drop it off by us. However, we've had from 2014 an e-filing platform. So we want to encourage everybody, especially those of us who are technologically inclined. We love the smartphones, we love the computers, the desktops. So go online, become an e-user. Go to our e-filing platform. It's efiling.govt.lc.
She says every effort has been made to ensure convenience for taxpayers. The north of the island in particular has been catered to, given the traffic nightmares that often exist. Officers are stationed at the JQ Charles Rodney Bay Mall to assist those in the north. It is important, however, to get documentation in order before visiting IRD officers.
We want to remind everybody to ensure that they have gotten their supporting documents. And I speak to, if you have your child at university, ensure you have the information from the university, your life insurance, medical insurances, mortgage interest, house tax, house insurance. If you're in an approved pension fund, if you have a retirement savings fund, every last living thing that you can claim once you have it and it's tax deductible, do so now.
Meanwhile, many taxpayers complain that paying the state what it is owed and having the state pay you for what it owes you is a very unbalanced affair. Modest says getting taxpayers their money is a priority for the department.
If you have an overpayment, we will have to get to you. It is yours. And we will continue to work on improving the speed at which we can give you those overpayments. But the responsibility is yours to get your tax code right. And your tax code is what is used by your employer to deduct that amount of tax, whether it's weekly, fortnightly, or monthly. How do you know if it is right? You must come into us and have the conversation. Because we, as individuals, and when I say, I always say employees, it's our business to make taxes our business. So let's get on board. Let's get it right. Let's get the tax code right, or as close as possible to the right tax code number, so that the employer or your account section, your payroll section would be taken out as it should be.
The tax officer says not filing taxes is not an option, as citizens must meet their statutory obligations.
You're watching the Hot 790 News. We'll be right back.